Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we keep it real and talk about what's really going on. And in this video, we are going to be talking about what's got a lot of folks in Pennsylvania talking about, and not in a good way. So apparently, companies are cutting Christmas bonuses left and right. And the reason, they're preparing for what everyone is calling the Trump's tariffs. Yep, you heard me right. It's a classic case of F around and find out. Here's the kicker. It's believed that 50 to 52% of voters in Pennsylvania helped Trump become the president-elect. Now, look, I'm not a political person, but one thing I do believe is that whatever makes people look like me happy makes me happy, okay? But seriously, this is wild. Watch these clips. I'll be right back. And I would want you guys to leave your thoughts down below in the comment section below.
One thing we gonna do, black women, is make up a song. In Pennsylvania, the owner said, you're not getting your Christmas bonus because I gotta buy a year's worth of products because of the tariffs. But guess what? I'ma be alright. I get my Christmas off. Hey, I'ma be alright. You should have known what you was voting for. I'ma be alright. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad, but it's happening. They never thought the leopards would eat their faces. They never thought the tariff was going to cost them. Hey!
People are now being informed they're not going to get Christmas bonuses this year because the companies they work for need to import mass amounts of product before the tariffs take effect. And then their companies had to explain to them how tariffs work. That American companies pay the cost of import.
Donald Trump will tell you that you can now say Merry Christmas in America, but because of Donald Trump's tariffs, you may no longer get a Christmas bonus because your employer will have to pay more for goods abroad. Merry Christmas, I guess. Folks, that may be funny and that may be a joke, but this is a serious thing that's already happening. I want you to read this message with me from an American who said that the results have already started following Trump's election. This is from an American woman today. My husband works for a small manufacturing company, and here in southwestern Pennsylvania, that means most employees are Trump voters. Totally fine, right? When the president of the company sat them down today to tell them that their annual Christmas bonus would not come in this year because they now need to purchase at least a year's worth of products prior to January 21st due to that proposed tariff, they did not understand. I want to say that my husband said that their president had to explain what a tariff is and how it will directly hurt their company. They even all thought that the foreign company paid the tariffs. Folks, that's not true. Folks, it's all fun and games until these policy agendas really impact everyday Americans. And you may no longer get a Christmas bonus because of Trump's tariffs. As always, follow on for all the news you need to know about.
Good morning, Pennsylvania. I heard you found out today you're not getting that annual holiday party anymore, huh? And nor are you getting that holiday bonus. Yeah. Because your employers had to sit down this morning and tell you how tariffs work. And you didn't know, I guess. So you've got a lot of research to start doing on this man, Donald Trump, that you voted for. Because you're going to be in a bit of a shocker. Okay? All right? If you're this far behind, I don't know how you got here at this point. I don't even know how you're still alive. Okay? So start doing your research, Pennsylvania. You know, we've got a lot that's going to be happening over the next 4 years, and I want you to be best prepared, you know, because I have to be. So why don't you have to be? Yeah. So hurry up before a hurricane comes your way too. You know, my prayers have been coming true lately, so hate to see you on the wish list.
I found a quiet place to be. Well, I had just got off a meeting with my partners for my business, and basically we've decided to go head on and try to buy up at least 6 months supply. We already have 6 months supply because of the proposed tariffs, and we're going to actually forego salaries to make sure we have what we need because you know, the proposed tariffs. And see, a lot of people think the foreign companies pay tariffs. And no, the American companies pay tariffs, and then the prices go up, and then the part of those tariff taxes are passed on to the American consumer. You know, I am a black-owned business. I have a fragrance brand called AZ Apothecary, and I'm kind of glad that we still have some stock. Most of my stuff is American made, but a lot of my containers, jars are coming in from China. And also there's a lot of companies that are gearing up to mass stock up on supplies and forego people's bonuses because of the simple fact that those 50% tariffs that they're going to be imposed. So what a tariff is paid by the American people, American companies, not the foreign companies. So when those things are imported in and those taxes are charged, it's going on, the Americans are paying that. So basically, ultimately, it is going to affect you, not the foreign country. You know, again, those who voted against the interests of Americans, you made a very big mistake, and now everybody's going to pretty much pay for it. And so we are preparing right now. Like I said, I'm okay. I'm always going to be okay because I understand how government works. I'm actually going to be finishing out a certification in local government, and but you know, a lot of people are going to be going without bonuses this year. They're going to expect, no, you're not going to get a bonus. They're already starting. People are already losing their bonuses because the company has to make executive decisions to stock up on supplies so they won't have to purchase after January the 21st. And you know what? It is unfortunate, you know, very unfortunate. So I'm like, good luck with that.
So a company in Pennsylvania today, all the people were brought in, all the employees, and the boss had to explain to them that they were not going to be getting their Christmas bonuses this year because of Trump's tariffs. They are now having to buy a year's worth of products ahead of time in order to stave off those tariffs. Of course, all the employees were disappointed because they thought that the other country paid the tariffs, which is misinformation that the Republicans put out there to try to fool people. The leopard's gonna eat your face. We're gonna hear more and more stories about this over and over and over again. People are going to regret their decision and realize that they have been conned.
No Christmas bonus this year? What's that you say? Here in Virginia, in Norfolk, where we're a port city that imports things from other countries like, I don't know, China? Yeah. So I'm getting a lot of calls today from people telling me that they don't understand what's happening, and they have turned to moi, neighborhood journalist and strategist and person who pays attention and reads shit. They just don't understand. They cannot understand. I have been told that they have kind of stormed their own little castles where they work and told their bosses that they can't do that because prosperity is just around the corner. Except their bosses explained to them today that there will be no bonus because the incoming tariffs, they have to start planning ahead and they have to make sure that they can survive. Stay tuned.
Monitoring social media in the last couple of days, there's discussions of companies that have canceled Christmas bonuses in the U.S. because they need that reserve capital to be able to buy components and other equipment from overseas before any tariffs come in. And so they're looking at it saying, we just can't spend that money now on a Christmas bonus. We have to save our money and start ordering everything we can right now that we're going to need down the road because it's going to be that much more expensive once tariffs come in. And there's also some indication that there's companies that are planning on laying off a bunch of people, closing plants because of the same reason. Basically, they're looking at the cost of the components that they would need to order, or other materials that they need to bring in from overseas. And the proposed tariffs, I mean, they're not happening yet, right? But the proposed tariffs would shut that down. And of course, there's some other more ugly social things where we've seen boys in schools telling young women that they're going to control their bodies. But as far as the result of tariffs are concerned, of course, there was no economists who were voting for Trump. It was really just something that we all knew, if anybody who studied economics even a little bit, that this is the repercussions that happen from tariffs. Instability is something that is bad for the economy generally, and that's what we're looking at when we're looking at tariffs coming in. And the problem here really comes down to inflation. You know, there's always inflation, right? Things are always getting more expensive. But things jumped more than you would normally anticipate during the course of the pandemic. Well, I mean, you would anticipate it if you thought about the fact that it was a pandemic and that we were going to lose a bunch of people from the labor market because people died and people can no longer work. And a lot of people decided, okay, now's my time to check out. And so as a consequence of essentially a labor shortage, we saw prices go up. And why do food prices go up? Food prices go up because it costs a lot of money in labor to process, collect, harvest food and prepare it. And that is something that's usually done by people who are poorly paid, very often basically imported into the country for that purpose, or unlawfully in the country. So food prices went up. Some other things went up a lot. Pickup trucks were a major issue because truck prices went way up, and there's a lot of Americans who still nevertheless went out and bought that truck that they couldn't afford. And so they're looking at it and saying to themselves, well, you know, my money's not going as far as it used to. Well, duh. But think about what's going to happen now. We've gone from a position of almost full employment in Canada and the U.S., opportunity like never before, but the labor costs are up quite a bit, and that is driving the inflation. Inflation now is really in check in Canada and the U.S. as a result of policies that have been brought in by stable governments, and now we've got the future of extreme destabilization under Trump, which is going to have massive effects across the economy and the labor market in Canada and the U.S. So be prepared for that. But this is what happens when you vote for a government that's going to do something extremely different. Now, there's an economic theory about the broken window. If you smash a window in a building, or a window gets smashed, well, then, that creates a little bit of work for the glazier who has to come out, and the glazier gets paid, and he spends his money, pays his staff, who pays, and so, that's one way of looking at it. But of course, that broken window is something that already had value in it. Okay, there was the value in that window, and now you've got to take money that was from somewhere else in the economy and put it into that window, and it's not, it's usually from an insurance company or something like that. It's not creating any new value. It's just basically creating a very short-term moment of feeling of prosperity for a few people who are involved in the repair of that window. Well, that's what happens when you elect a government that throws caution to the wind, screws things up by doing mass manipulation to the economy, for example, deporting millions of people who are generating income for the economy, or raising tariffs across the board. You're basically breaking the window, and you'll have a short period of time where you may feel that things are doing very good, but you're taking value that existed in the economy and you're destroying it. You're just destroying basically the good things that you built up. And so for a little while, you might feel some sense that there's a boom. And then after that, you end up paying for it for a long time to come, because you've just really ruined something that you had that was the good thing. So yes, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. There's lots of comments about, well, this is something you should have considered before you voted. But this is also, of course, something that should have been brought to people's attention before they voted. And here we are. This is the situation. It's going to last for a while. The repercussions are probably going to be well over a decade. We'll see whether or not the Republicans can get another president in after Trump in this next term, or whether or not Trump's going to declare himself dictator for life. For life could be 3 years for all we know at this point. He is a very old man. But in any event, all of these social media discussions now about the implications before they've even taken control, and companies looking to protect themselves. Of course, of course. Like, yeah, that was going to happen. If you didn't think about it beforehand, well, tough luck.
All right, so everyone is putting a blame on Donald Trump for this development, which honestly doesn't seem to make anyone happy. I'm not happy about this. I know bad choices were made, but you know, this whole thing is gonna affect everyone. Okay, so the whole thing with Christmas bonuses being cut, it is a tradition that a lot of people rely on, and losing that is hitting folks hard. I came across a clip of Donald Trump. It was more of an interview. I can't quite remember the exact words, the exact question, but I think it was something like, how will hiking tariffs benefit the Americans? And his response was quite interesting, I must say. Not really, anyway. He said something along the lines of, anyway, I stand to be corrected on that one, okay? If I hike tariffs, companies outside the US will be forced to come here and invest, like building companies in America, which will benefit Americans. And the interviewer pointed out that it would take a long time for that to happen. Unfortunately, the clip ended there, guys. Leaving us with more questions than answers, leaving me with more questions than answers. And I'm going to depend on you guys to give me some answers, you know. Okay, now here we are facing what might be the worst Christmas experience for a lot of people who depend on those bonuses. I don't know what to say on this. I'll depend on you, my viewers, to share your thoughts and answers on this. But let's be real. Hiking tariffs comes with disadvantages, and I can name a few, like you know, cutting Christmas bonuses, like we are saying now. Yeah, you know, everyone is talking about this. It's a big deal, right? And higher costs for imported goods. That means higher prices for everyone. We're talking about prices for everything going up. Bread, milk, eggs, like everything, the prices will go up. And retaliation from other countries hurting American exports. Delayed economic benefits, that might not help people in the short term. A potential slowdown in global trade, which affects everyone, not just big companies. Everyone will be affected. Okay, so this is going to be tough, and it's definitely not something to celebrate, because eventually it will affect everyone. Some people will have to suffer because of someone else's decisions, the decisions that were made by other people. You know what I mean, okay? So you guys, let me know your thoughts, okay? In the comment section, let's talk about this. What do you guys think about the tariffs, the bonuses, and everything going on right now? And before you go, please, guys, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. I really need your help with that, because it seems like YouTube isn't suggesting my videos lately. So please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will definitely see you in my next video. Please stay peaceful and take care of yourselves. I'll catch you soon.